Nothing. It's nothing. Like, it is a basketball play, and an Angel goes flying. Angel gets hit, in fairness, and she just flies. And then jumps up and tries to go at her. She tries to charge her down while Caitlyn walks away. Like, it's nothing.
Can you take us through the flagrant foul from your perspective? Just what you saw and then play, how you interpreted what happened.
Basketball play, refs got it right. Move on.
The highly anticipated WNBA matchup between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky turned into the latest chapter in the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese saga, and it did not disappoint. What we saw wasn't just a basketball game, it was a masterclass in creating outrage when you're being thoroughly outplayed. The Fever vs. Sky clash showcased Caitlin Clark's impressive triple-double, but it also highlighted Angel Reese's tantrum, complete with theatrics and attention-seeking antics. Instead of focusing on the game, Reese seemed more interested in making herself the center of attention, shouting and gesturing wildly, clearly more concerned with the spotlight than the scoreboard.
Here it is right here. She comes in, just a little grab around her, trying to kind of hold her, really. And Angel Reese loses her mind. I mean, if you can't tell me there is not true animosity, jealousy, and agenda ate up right there with that player, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that was a big nothing. Wow.
The Indiana Fever is absolutely dominating the Chicago Sky, turning this game into a complete blowout with a final score of 93-58. It's the kind of relentless beatdown that makes you wonder if the scoreboard operator took a nap. Amidst this basketball massacre, with over 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter, Angel Reese, desperate for attention, grabs an offensive rebound. Caitlin Clark, simply doing her job as a defender, commits a take foul. Despite the lopsided score, Reese's antics stand out as she seems more focused on making a statement than helping her team.
Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and it's so obvious. You don't give this type of reaction for a common foul. That is a regular basketball foul. Caitlin Clark hit ball, but Angel Reese decided to flop like she's Draymond Green and act like she got shot in the streets and hood of Chicago. But then when you ask a question after the game in the press conference, you say basketball play, refs got it right, move on. But you clearly had a hard time moving on after that foul. And Caitlin Clark threw some shade at Angel Reese, rightfully so. That's just a good take foul. Either you let Angel get a wide open two-pointer, which I don't think she was going to make. Have you seen her layup package? Or you send her to the free throw line and make her earn those points. Anybody who played any type of ounce of...
Angel Reese did not take kindly to Caitlin Clark's simple take foul. She immediately erupts, arms flailing, face twisted in outrage, loudly barking at the referee and anyone nearby. You'd think Clark had just kicked her puppy the way Reese reacts. She stomps around, points accusing fingers, and shoots a death stare directly at Clark. The referees, seemingly overwhelmed by Reese's exaggerated display, decide to upgrade her foul to a flagrant one. A flagrant one? For what basketball players consider routine, something every coach teaches their players to do. It's a standard move in the game, common in nearly every basketball game in history, yet Reese's over-the-top reaction turns a normal play into a spectacle.
She just said basketball play, refs got it right. She could have, like, it could have been worded worse. It could have been worded worse. And it was the same thing as she said, basketball play, when she clocked Caitlin Clark in the head. And again, I stand by this. I don't think Angel Reese last year intentionally smacked Caitlin Clark in the head, because at that stage in the year, Angel Reese had gone like 15 games without getting a single block. If Angel Reese tried to hit Caitlin Clark in the head.
Let me set the scene for you. Caitlin Clark, the same player transforming women's basketball, filling arenas and boosting the WNBA's profile, makes a routine play on the court. Meanwhile, Angel Reese reacts as if she's auditioning for a soap opera. She launches herself toward Clark with dramatic flair, like she's been shot out of a cannon. Instead of focusing on the game, she charges at the rookie with intense determination, something she should have been using to help her team avoid a crushing blow on the scoreboard. Her over-the-top reaction seems more about grabbing attention than playing the game. If you are enjoying, please subscribe. And what does Clark do? just as she did when LSU beat Iowa in the NCAA championship and Reese taunted her with the John Cena "you can't see me" gesture, Clark simply walks away. She doesn't get caught up in the drama, doesn't feed the spectacle. Instead, she turns and quietly leaves, carrying herself with dignity, like leaving a bad restaurant review on Yelp, calm, composed, and unimpressed. Meanwhile, Reese was busy crafting her Oscar-worthy reaction to what was a routine basketball play, seemingly more concerned with the theatrics than the game itself. Clark, on the other hand, showcased her talent by dropping a triple-double in her first regular season WNBA game, 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, demonstrating why she's considered one of the best. It's like arriving at a gunfight armed with a tactical nuke, making a statement without loud noise. Reese's stat line? 12 points on 5 of 14 shooting, a mere 35% from the field. Probably a better percentage than her ability to recognize a simple basketball play when it happened. She did manage 17 rebounds, which might seem impressive at first glance, but in a game where both teams struggled with shooting, that's akin to bragging about bringing an umbrella during a hurricane. Technically useful, but hardly enough to stop the storm. Clark's poised silence and stellar performance contrast sharply with Reese's over-the-top antics, highlighting the difference between focus and drama.
Folks, this was crazy. Caitlin Clark recorded the first triple-double in a season opener in WNBA history, but are you surprised? Because I'm not. I have to say, there was a couple days when I was thinking, you know what, this guy might be a little difficult with like how scrappy they could be. But then I woke up today and for some reason I had like zero hesitation and full confidence in the Indiana Fever. Venom and I went live. We were talking about it before the game and I was just like, nope, not.
Now here's where it gets truly interesting. After the game, with cameras rolling and microphones hot, what does Angel Reese say? After all the drama, the charging, and the performative outrage, she claims, let's not make it something that it's not. She dismisses the controversy as a simple basketball play, insisting the referees got it right. Excuse me? The same Angel Reese who turned a routine foul into what looked like a scene from the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones now wants to play it cool? The same player who needed teammates to hold her back suddenly finds her composure in the post-game press conference? Let me interpret this for those who don't speak fluent basketball drama. I overreacted on national television when we were already getting blown out by 30 points, so now I need to pretend I was totally reasonable all along. This starkly highlights the fundamental difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Clark consistently changes the game with her performance, calm, focused, and unshaken. Reese, on the other hand, shifts her story depending on which way the camera is pointing, revealing more about her theatrics than her game.
There was no need for Angel Reese to jump up and try chase down Caitlin Clark after a relatively hard foul. Like, what Caitlin did wasn't even in the stratosphere of what Diamond DeShields or Kennedy Carter did to her.
Clark is rewriting history with her triple doubles and sold-out arenas, elevating the WNBA to new heights. Meanwhile, Reese seems focused on creating headlines with WWE-style antics, manufacturing confrontations faster than fast fashion drops trendy outfits. The crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse was truly sold out, not just a handful of tickets given away or counting janitors, but a packed house from wall to wall. The energy was electric, a testament to the growing excitement around women's basketball. And when Angel Reese missed that free throw after all the drama, the entire arena seemed to unite in a collective karma is real moment. The noise was so intense it probably registered on seismic equipment, reminding everyone that basketball is about performance and perseverance, not theatrics.
Because if we're being completely honest, all of this is fine. All of this is high-level competition, passionate basketball. They're frustrated. Caitlin's trying to foul her to avoid a little freaking layup. Angel's frustrated because her team's losing and she was trying to do the most and her team was just not helping enough. So she's frustrated. She wants to go up for the layup. She gets off balance because of this foul. Caitlin does a little shove at the end. It doesn't look malicious, but it definitely was a shove with the left hand. Angel falls to the ground. She's pissed off again because she's frustrated. Just like we've seen every other player in the WNBA at times be frustrated. Stands up, turns around, says something. Aaliyah Boston comes, gets in between them. And they all get penalized. Fine. That's all fine.
Remember, folks, this isn't their first rodeo. The rivalry between Clark and Reese stretches back to college, when LSU defeated Iowa for the national championship. Angel Reese celebrated by taunting Clark with the "you can't see me" gesture, the same one Clark had used earlier in the tournament. But here's the key difference. Clark used it organically during a game after a great play, a display of competitive fire. Reese, on the other hand, reserved hers specifically to taunt Clark after the game was decided. One was genuine celebration, the other was calculated pettiness. Now, history is repeating itself. Clark makes a basketball play focused on winning. Reese turns it into theater, seemingly more interested in the attention than the game. Clark aims to win by 35 points. Reese seems more concerned with the viral moment. It's like watching the same movie, just with different costumes. Even Stephanie White, head coach of the Fever, recognized what was happening. She said, "Nobody's going to get anything easy against us. We're going to be a tough defensive team." She saw it for what it was, a clean play on the ball, not some vicious attack. That was basketball 101. Don't give up easy buckets. Make them earn their points at the line. That's smart, fundamental strategy. But why let strategy get in the way of a viral clip? Why focus on the fundamentals when you can create a highlight reel for drama? Instead of acknowledging their team's struggles, Reese seems more interested in making headlines for her theatrics than playing effective basketball.
All it took is one game for Angel Reese to attack Caitlin Clark. It couldn't be clearer that Angel Reese knows that she is in second place behind Caitlin Clark and she's not going to top her throughout her career. In any basketball game, WNBA, NBA, on the streets, this would be a clear foul. For Angel Reese to react this way is completely out of control and she deserves to be fined for this. She's always subliminally going after Caitlin Clark in interviews. And there's constantly one thing that we can always look back on that tells the truth that Caitlin Clark is a better player than Angel Reese, and that is the stat board. Game 1, Caitlin Clark brought in the triple-double, and although Angel did have a good game, we will give her that with 12 points and 17 rebounds. 17 rebounds is huge. She definitely did not play as good of a game as Caitlin.
The referee explained their decision to call the foul a flagrant. The foul on Clark met the criteria for a flagrant foul 1 based on wind-up, impact, and follow-through, specifically the extension of her left hand to Reese's back. There's a rule in the book that technically justifies the call, and officials admitted they went with it because Angel Reese's theatrical reaction could have sparked an even bigger scene if they hadn't upgraded it. Ironically, despite the flagrant foul, the free throws, and the extra possession, the Sky still got completely demolished, losing by 35 points. All the drama, the controversy, amounted to a mere 2-point difference in the final score. The ultimate irony? When Reese stepped to the free throw line after all the fuss and missed her first shot, Gamebridge Fieldhouse erupted in cheers. Not polite applause or gentle encouragement, but full-throated, ravenous cheers. It was a clear sign that the crowd's support wasn't for her theatrics, but for their team's dominance. Maybe, just maybe, her attempt to be the villain backfired. Instead of gaining momentum, she highlighted her team's struggles and the crowd's loyalty. Sometimes, the loudest reactions come when the theatrics don't go as planned, revealing that the real story isn't about the drama, but about the game itself. While Reese was busy creating her confrontation narrative, Clark was busy making history. Scoring a triple-double in your WNBA debut is the basketball equivalent of walking into your first day at work and effortlessly solving problems that have stumped the company for years. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. That's not just a solid performance, it's a statement. It's not merely impressive, it's historic. And she achieved this in a game where her team convincingly won by 35 points. If basketball were a conversation, Clark wasn't just speaking, she was delivering a TED Talk, while Reese was busy trying to interrupt with a TikTok dance. Now, of course, we get to enjoy the aftermath. Every sports show in America discusses the confrontation. Every analyst analyzes the moment. Every social media account posts the highlight. Coincidentally, that's exactly what Angel Reese wanted all along. When your team is trailing by a margin that could land you in legal trouble in some states, and the rookie you've been compared to is shining brighter than the sun outshines a cheap flashlight, what's the move? You create a moment. You craft a narrative. You make sure that tomorrow's sports headlines aren't about your team's loss or Clark's brilliance. They're about you charging at Clark after a routine play. It's all about controlling the story.
Do you guys think that Angel Reese understands that she is in a completely one-sided beef with Caitlin Clark? Like, I don't think Caitlin Clark could give less of a fuck about Angel Reese's existence. And yet Angel Reese tries so hard to make this a thing, to make this like rivalry a thing when it really doesn't exist. And this was a normal ass foul, by the way. Like, this was a normal hard foul, send them to the line. And I mean, Angel Reese flops the shit out of this. I mean, look at her flail her arm, and look at Caitlin Clark's arm. It's not even whatever. And then Angel Reese is trying to get into like her face after this foul, and yet Caitlin Clark is just walking away. she just turns around and walks away, you know, as if it's a normal foul, which it was. And yet Angel Reese, you could read her lips. She was like saying, oh, "She's trying to fight, bro. She's trying to fight." And it's like, I genuinely don't think Caitlin Clark could care less about you. She does not care about your like you are in a one-sided beef. It is all in your head, Angel. This rivalry that you think is you are not on the same level, and I don't think she cares in any capacity. I wish I could be as delulu as you, because what you think is a rivalry in your head just doesn't exist.
This is strategic drama, calculated conflict designed to shift the focus. It's the basketball equivalent of a politician making a sensational statement when their poll numbers are low. Quick, the stats aren't adding up, bring out the drama metrics instead. We've seen this before. When Angel can't dominate on the court, she shifts the narrative in the media. When the scoreboard isn't in her favor, she ensures the spotlight remains on her. If basketball isn't giving her the attention she craves, she creates her own. The most telling part of this saga? Clark's response. No grand speeches, no fiery Twitter posts, just a calm, measured statement. It was just a good play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the ref saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion. And she added, I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am. Clark's restraint speaks volumes, emphasizing class and focus over manufactured drama. It underscores that true strength isn't in creating controversy, but in handling it with dignity.
Sitting in the third quarter of this basketball game, and it's already a heated situation. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever is currently putting the beats on the Chicago Sky, and I'm telling you right now, Angel Reese is furious because she wants to make it her business to beat Caitlin Clark this year, and I'm telling you right now, it's not even close. Caitlin Clark hitting logo threes, looking like young Steph.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the key difference. One player stays focused on basketball, the game, the skill, the performance. The other is more interested in the theater surrounding the game, crafting moments and headlines. One lets her play speak for itself. The other ensures her reactions dominate the story. In the end, the scoreboard told the real story. Indiana Fever 93, Chicago Sky 58, a 35-point blowout that should have been the headline. Caitlin Clark's triple-double was the highlight everyone expected. But thanks to Angel Reese's staged, most dramatic reaction, a subplot emerged that threatened to eclipse the main event. It was a manufactured moment designed to keep Reese's name front and center alongside Clark's in every headline, tweet, and sports segment. Perhaps that was Reese's true victory all along. Not the score on the court, which was already decided, but the attention she garnered off it. In the attention economy, even losing by 35 can be considered a win if it keeps you trending for all the wrong reasons. Sometimes creating controversy is the real game plan.
Yo, Caitlin Clark, she did it. She signed my autograph. My life is complete. My life is complete.
As this WNBA season unfolds, remember what you saw today. Sometimes, the most calculated moves don't happen during the game itself. They happen when someone chooses to be remembered for a dramatic overreaction, rather than accept a blowout loss quietly. Keep in mind that while Caitlin Clark is transforming women's basketball with her talent, others are trying to stay relevant by turning everyday moments into spectacle. One player is elevating the sport, another is elevating the theatrics surrounding it. The Indiana Fever's victory over the Chicago Sky wasn't just about the score. Caitlin Clark's exceptional performance wasn't just about outplaying Angel Reese. True class triumphed over chaos. What we witnessed was the difference between a player striving for greatness and one seeking attention. Ironically, in her efforts to stand out, Angel Reese revealed her true nature. Sometimes the biggest plays aren't just on the court. They're in the choices players make off it, showing us what truly matters in the game of sports and reputation. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.